Peace, y'all. Dr. Jazz, she, her pronouns, with the National Black Food and Justice Alliance, the Co-Executive Director, and I'm born, bred, and based in the Ninth Ward of New Orleans. It's the 5th annual Black Led Day. I can't believe we're even saying that. It's been a beautiful journey. I mean, from gangstering some space in this up-and-coming conference to be specific for Black folks and for us to collaborate with, and now to have an entire day. We have over 100 participants registered and in attendance. We've seen more co-ops come, so not just the same co-ops that are coming each year. We've seen new folks coming for the first time. We've seen stores open. We've seen stores hire staff. We've seen a lot of staff transitions. We've seen growth there. And I've seen a lot of growth in just like the spirit of knowing that we can do it, and we're gonna keep on keeping on. So it's just been really great witnessing Black Led Day's energy and how we're 5 years in, and I know we have a lot more to give. For the 10th Black Led Day, I can only imagine we'll have hopefully 10 of these Black Led co-ops open, if not more, because you never know what happens in these next 5. But honestly, I would love the strategy of us focusing more regionally. If I'm in the Midwest, how can I support other co-ops in the Midwest that are either starting or already open, but then just working together collaboratively because we may have similar challenges in the same region or in the same state even. I would love to see some cross collaboration as well, the trips to visit each other. I hear in the hallways oh, we gonna come up to Wilmington. It's I love that. And I wanna make sure that we are building that network and people do go out and support each other. Oh, you're having a harvest fest or you're having an event, to show up for other folks and see how this could inspire something in your community. So I love that strategy of just learning from each other, which we do still do monthly in our peer calls. So I think the 10 years is gonna be even more monumental with more stores open, more stores sustained, and more community folks fed. My simple definition of when I think of what a co-op is the exchange of goods or services in a non-extractive way. It's gonna happen. We have to get things and we have to get what we need, but it can also happen in a non-extractive way. We don't have to be capitalists and take everything from communities. We can actually be regenerative and circulate that data in the economy, have farmers connected to the food and ensuring that we're able to purchase it and it's at an affordable price. So it feels like cooperatives are literally an economy that's non-extractive. It's gonna happen. We're gonna exchange, we're gonna do business, but at the end of the day, nobody's gonna get the short end of the stick. We're all eating, we're all winning, and we all have agency too in it. So that's what I really enjoy as well, the democrative voice. I get to make a choice, I get to participate in governance. I literally am a owner of this store, and that feels I want to take more pride. I want to make sure I'm shopping there, telling all my family and friends about it. And then I want to make sure it stays open and continues to support my community because I have invested ownership. So I think of that in co-op style, but really to ensure that it's non-extractive. At this time, we're just living in unprecedented times, and I do think that co-ops can lean more into mutual aid. I'm not saying that everything has to be free, but if you're going to volunteer a few hours at the store, then you may have a few tokens to spend at the store. It's just a mutual aid type of style where we all have to take care of each other, because with the SNAP cuts, with all of the federal, can I say fuck shit, just coming down the list, it's going to show up sooner than later, especially in our communities. We, as Black people, end up with the least. And it's just interesting to see how it's going to play out with this new legislation that's coming. And I'm really concerned because we're already seeing food banks closing. We're already seeing folks not able to meet their community's needs when they're we had a food program last summer, but now we don't have the federal funding for it, so we don't have that program this summer. And it's just oh, and about the school food, lots of kids get their meals from school food. So it's if that's going to be cut and not free, there needs to be ways that alternatively that we're focused on the community. So do you have an after school program that you're feeding kids with? Are you bringing snacks? Are you dropping off extra produce from your farm? And I said, it doesn't all have to be free, but it can be in an exchange. So the mutual aid part, I'm showing up to support, to volunteer, to engage, and then also ensuring that I'm able to do that. I'm actually whole, I'm fed, and can participate in that way. So I'm honestly hoping that co-ops can double down on the mutual aid, can double down on the organizing their block and their community, knowing their neighbor, knocking on people's doors to make sure, I haven't seen this person in 3 years. Do they still live there? Are they all right? Do they know about our program we got going on? I really feel that we need to get back to the basics, and that's just what it's going to take so we can make sure we all got each other. Centering food and farm workers is essential. I mean, it baffles me that someone can work in a field all day and then go home and not have anything to eat. That should not be acceptable. So I'm just encouraging folks, if you do have people on your farm, ensuring that they are taking extra produce home or even having a spot to grow for themselves, like, and that they can tend. And it doesn't have to be a large thing, but just like ensuring that people have what they need up front. If they don't speak the same language as us, their language barriers, their culture barriers. And I do think the laws that are coming down with labor are going to show that our shelves are going to be empty because there won't be people there to harvest the food, and they're going to rot in the field and we'll be at a disservice. So I honestly encourage farmers right now to like start building up their volunteer base. I mean, we do have a lot of paid labor, but at the end of the day, if that labor isn't able to come, or, you know, there's some legislation in place where the H-2A or program, you know, no longer exists, then what are we going to do? And not starting that then, but like starting it now. So getting to know your community, having a sign-up sheet at your farmer's market table, like if you do want to volunteer. But honestly, it needs to have decreased barriers for farm workers and people in the food system to ensure that they can get SNAP, that they can access food programs, because it's often that they don't meet all the requirements with documentation, so therefore they're already disqualified. And it's like, they are growing food. They are here putting in labor and paying it's just like so many things, and it baffles me. And I do hope that with legislation that comes up that the barriers are decreased for farm workers accessing food. The Market Study Project. Oh man, actually back here at Black Led Day, maybe about 3 years ago, folks were in a meeting space, and it was a market study session, and we had National Cooperative Bank there, and we're asking, like, what does the market study need to say to ensure we get the funding? Like, what's your metrics? How are you measuring that this market study is going to be accurate and provide these metrics for this grocery store that we're trying to build? And the answer was, there's none. There is no standard metrics, or there's no, like, you need these 3 things in your market study to ensure that you get funding from, you know, large banks. Or there is none. There is none. So we decided at the National Black Food and Justice Alliance and folks here at the Up and Coming Conference that we were going to do our own research and figure out what's needed and how we can explore a market study that is more culturally relevant to Black communities, and that then we can share with funders, like, these are our metrics and this is how we're standing, and showing that we're moving forward. So I really am excited about now we have a whole market study report that led into an app that says, oh, we don't even have the data that shows, because right now it looks like on the census that people in Black communities, they're poor, they're uneducated, they can't afford a store, they don't want to eat healthy. The narrative, I don't know who said that narrative, but I know that's not my narrative in my family, in my community. So the market study report showed that we need to shift that narrative. And that's happening now with the YAMS app, the Yielding Access to Market Studies. And I'm so excited that you can now take a picture of your receipt. If it's at the grocery store, farmer's market, you can even enter it manually and say how much you spent on this fresh produce. Because I know I'm spending almost more than rent on food, okay, because it's expensive, and we want to make sure we eat. So it's exciting to see now that we can have our own proprietary database, and it literally came out of Black Led Day. So if you don't know, now you know. You can definitely download the YAMS app at yamsapp.org. It's on Apple Play, Google Play, Apple Store, the things. In 10 years, I foresee the YAMS data and database growing to be one that is filled with trends that are shifting from corporate grocery stores to cooperative entities. And I think right now where we are looking to build the base, like, we want to know how much people are spending on food. How much does this bag of greens cost? Or like, what are people particularly, you know, looking for, especially if you're opening a store and want to think about product placement and price points. Like, that is a very important point. So I think the YAMS app is going to be a great place where we're going to be able to track some trends of like what's happening in our community now. And then 10 years later, we're able to see if folks are moving more to co-op spaces, but also how much less we're spending in corporations. I do think that it's going to take some time to build our own database, and I don't want to be like, oh, stop shopping where you shop right now. I just want you to be more mindful. Like, on this map that we have, a community food map, you'll be able to see like these are the zip codes that are, purchasing food in these areas, and these are the stores that they're purchasing at, and this is how many receipts the store has. And maybe, that can be mindful and put it in your like, oh, I want to be sure that I make sure I go to the co-op at least once a month, even if there's somewhere else that's your, go-to for convenience. But I do hope that we can shift that narrative, shift the trend, and ensure that people are being more mindful with their money. I think co-ops can transform the food system in the United States, particularly ensuring that they're less extractive. Right now, the global food system is increasing our climate catastrophe. With all of the food miles that food travels, I do foresee more of a local food system happening with co-ops, because we'll have farmers that we're able to connect with. We'll have a store. We'll have maybe processing centers, value-added places that can go right directly to the market that's in the neighborhood. So I really hope to see the trend from the food system being from global to local. I ensure like that I can spend more money because it's around the corner. I know that it feels sometimes like, oh man, but I'm like, oh, I know where these greens were grown. Like, it just feels like I'm more connected to my food. I'm more mindful of what I'm putting in my body because it's local and I can visit the farm, or just, I'm aware of where it's being grown at. But then I also just hope that we are not spending as much of our percentage of income on food. Like, I definitely think we should buy food, but right now it's an extreme amount, and it's stressing a lot of families to pick if they're going to feed their family or they're going to get medicine or go to the doctor, and that shouldn't be it. So I do hope that cooperatives can send the trend that food is more affordable, that people are able to eat more nutritious food and not have to pick over price. I really want to make sure you know that the history of co-ops is Black. Like, as much as folks try to erase it, try to deny it, the history of co-ops is Black. And we've always worked in cooperative ways, from funerals to daycares to sending off kids to schools. And it's no different to make sure that we eat. So I hope that you feel like you embody co-ops and know that we have it in our DNA.